Hi everyone, and welcome back to Diamond Painters with Mike. Yes, the last in the episode of the Disney theme. I cannot believe it has come round so quick. But yeah, we have to say goodbye to the Disney theme now. So this will be your last in the series of Nala and Simba. Unfortunately, we wasn't able to complete it in time. So we've got a few colours to do because I have found some W's which I'm going to pinch from another painting. I've got quite a big pack of spares, so I'm going to be using them. Would help if I take the sticker off, the adhesive. So yeah, we're going to be saying goodbye to this theme now. So just going to rearrange my thing. It's getting a bit thingamajig here. So we're going to start off with the A and yeah, spend the last hour or so on this as we approach. Tomorrow is the 1st of October and it is the month of Halloween. And also we only have a whopping, I think it's 5 or 6 days until Big Brother is back in action. Yes, I'm super excited for the launch of that. It actually starts on a Sunday for some apparent reason, so it's quite weird to be having it on a Sunday. Apologies if it looks quite dark over here. It is because it's we've had quite a massive smackdown of rain. It was really heavy and the raindrops were really big. So yeah, we've had rain for the last sort of 3 days or so. So with all the hot weather we've had recently, that's what's been causing it really. And yeah, what a few days it's been. So on the last whip and chat I did, I was mentioning that I got a text, and as I said, I would talk about this on the live that I did the other day. And my brother texted me about a bike. Well, of course, I was filming, so obviously I couldn't respond to it there and then. Had to wait until I got off the, came off air and stuff, and read the text, and it was my brother, and he said, I've had an accident, I'm up at the hospital. And I was like, oh no, what's happened there, because it was only like a couple of months ago he damaged his wrist. And from what I understand, he was on his way to work, but he was running late. So of course he's trying to get there as fast as he can on his push bike, and he's gone a little bit too mad, and from what I understand, has fell into what's called a weir. Now, when he was describing it, I thought he meant like a river or a lock, and a lock is a type of like river thing that pushes. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a boat that sits in the water, and then they lock something off, and then the water sort of moves up to the top, or it moves down with the boat, and then they open the gate thing. So I'm not really sure the ins and outs of that, but I'm not really sure what a weir is either. So we could ask Alexa. Alexa, what is a weir?
As a verb, where is usually defined as to carry or have on the body or about the person as a covering, equipment, ornament.
Alexa, stop. So I wonder if I can, I've got my other phone in here because someone asked me about my back, and I'm going to show you the thing that came back from the result thing. I'll just put Weir River. I'm not really sure what this. Right, yeah. So according to this, a weir is a barrier across the width of a river that alters the flow characteristics of water and usually results in a change. So in other words, it's something that looks like that. Yeah, so yeah. You can pretty much see here it's like some sort of overflow thing there. And from what I understand, he fell in the river and his bike was actually submerged in the river. And so tried to phone him, but obviously he was up at the hospital, so I had to phone the next available person, which was my mum. and she gave me a breakdown of what happened. So this car's come out of nowhere, and he's tried to steer to get out of the way and ended up, you know, with cuts and bruises and all sorts on his leg in the river. And if you if you watch my live video, you would have seen the injury that he had. And so I'm going to see if I can get it up on my messenger here. And yeah, so what happened was he cut all his leg like that. So he's had, like, you can pretty much see it's tore the skin apart. And it was basically, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but apparently he can't move his leg and stuff. So he was like sitting up at the hospital, and yeah, so he got to work, and I think work said, no, you're going to have to go up to A&E. And so he can't find his glasses. They're somewhere in this weir. And my mum was like, well, you're just going to have to go up the hospital. You know, that takes priority over everything. And then just, you know, go back later and see if you can find them, providing they discharge you. Because they may want to keep him in for some, like, further tests or just to monitor his leg and stuff. And because that's what happened with his leg, sorry, his wrist. They had to keep him in because it was so inflamed and stuff, you know, with the swelling and stuff. So, yeah, they wounded it. They put bandages and put, you know, cleaned it up and stuff, came home. And apparently he then went back and found his glasses, which were somewhere near this riverbank thing. And then the next day it started to hurt again, so he's had to go up to the hospital and see what they can do. And they bandaged it again, cleaned it up, and then the third day it started to kick off even more. And so he was like, I'm gonna have to go back up, I can't cope with the pain. So I think what's happened is because of the, you know, the way the cut is, there's a lot of, you know, bacteria and stuff got into it, because obviously, you know, a river is the worst place to be with, like, bacteria and stuff. And they've gone up to the hospital, and he tried to last it as best as he could, and he was like, I can't move my leg, like, what do we do? So in the evening, I need to backtrack a bit, because I went up to my nan's cemetery, and this was on the day, what was, it must have been on the Friday, because they were doing rail engineering works on the Saturday. So, yeah, so I went up to the cemetery, and as per usual, my dad was mucking me about again and didn't go, and waited, and I thought, this is ridiculous, I'm just gonna go. So I headed off to Colchester to the cemetery, and you know, just did me sort of like seeing my nan and stuff, and then came back and stopped off at Colchester, because I'm always on the hunt for Amazon lockers. So if because it's quite good, you know, if you go out for the day, I can send it up to Colchester and get it there, you know, there, rather than come all the way home, go all the way back up the locker, you know. And you know, so I found them. One was in Culver Square, which is called Napuri, and then there was another one called Maximus. For some apparent reason, I don't know what the reason is behind this, but a lot of the Amazon lockers seem to be planted on railway stations. I don't really know the logic of that, but I think it's like, if someone's been out for the day, it's just easy to, you know, get it and then go off to wherever, you know. And so on my way back from the cemetery, I popped into Sainsbury's because I had some vouchers I had to use up, and use them. And then I had to wander around Colchester, and oh my god, like, the last time I was in Colchester was when I went to the cemetery with my dad, but not actually in the town centre. So when I go out, I like to make it a sort of like full day out. So providing my route can cover, you know, my ticket can cover any stop along that route, so I can get off. Apologies about the coughing here. The last couple of days, when I saw Teddy the last weekend, he had a cold, and every time I talk, I seem to cough a lot now. So I think I'm coming to the end of it, but I've got a cold, you know, a dry cough. Now I have got, which I ordered lemon, but for some reason they sent me ginger and honey. Not the best of tastes, but I've got the Lemsip there. They must have substituted it for them because they didn't have it in stock, and I do let substitutions with Tesco, so that's no problem. It's better to have that than nothing. But anyway, so I went to Poundland. That's some lovely sweets in there. Poundland is fantastic for sweets. Because they have so much sweets, like, and that's where I got them Dinky Dog ones that I told you about, Linda. So yeah, so that's what I did for that. And then we're gonna bring in some of the blacks now, so I'm gonna have to share it with this because I've actually had a tidy up today and got rid of some of my drills. Now we're going to do as much black as we can. As you can see, we'll start with Simba. And so I've got some Dinky Dogs. I quite like the Tornado Sweets. You know, the ones that look like the pencil ones that you can get. The pencil licorice sweets. Well, I've got some of them. Then I ventured off to WH Smith's because I'm extremely low on these stickers. And do you think I could get some in there? No. Out of all the stickers they did, and bloody hell, did someone have a field day in there? Like, I think they must have, like, been at the end of stock or something, because all the stickers were all over the place. They weren't in the correct compartments. They were all, like, muddled up. And I was like, oh, this is ridiculous, because in that store, they've got all, like, low shelves. So you can see, like, someone over the shelf, if you get me. So I was like, this cannot be happening. Like, how the hell can Chelmsford be the only store that have these stickers? Braintree never tends to have any. Colchester, yeah, that's a no-go. So anyway, then I went to Culver Square and see if there was any new shops. There's quite a few new shops. Walked up the high street a bit, and my stomach was rumbling, and so I fancied a sausage roll, you know, just something, because I knew that I would be eating in the evening, and I thought, you know what, I'll just have, you know, something quick. Well, they didn't have any sausage rolls, but to be fair, it was quite late in the day, so I was okay with that, because round the corner is a McDonald's and a Burger King. So I went to McDonald's, and whenever I go in there, I use like they've got touch screens where you can order your food, and then you just go to the counter and then they call them out, like your order numbers. And literally by the time I paid and got to the waiting area, I probably waited only about 2 minutes and it was done. So I ordered a double bacon cheeseburger in the Colchester High Street one, and I then decided, right, do you know what? I'm going to go to Castle Park and just take a wander through there and eat my burger. And so, yeah, it was lovely to see the castle again. I've had, oh, Mike, think. I've actually had the luxury of actually going on the roof of that castle, because back when I used to do college at Colchester Institute, we had this special, I think you can buy tickets to do that, but we had this tour thing that included a tour of going on the roof. Whether they still do that, I don't know, because they did have like fencing stuff up, because I think they're doing like maintenance on it. But it's just a massive park, and all the squirrels like come up to you thinking that you've got food. So whatever you do not rattle your food, because chances are a little squirrel's going to appear. But yeah, it was really lovely, and we're going off track here. I've missed his ear off. So yeah, went to Castle Park, then I headed over to the big Asda. This is where it gets a bit exciting, because when I went with my dad previously, he showed me that there was like an outlet there, And all the years I've been to college, and I've only just discovered that there's more shops there other than Asda. I always used to think it was self-storage in Asda, but so yeah, I went there, and I didn't go to Asda first. I went over to the outlet bit, and oh my god, they had McDonald's, they had Poundland, B&M's, Home Bargains, and I was like, I have wanted to try Home Bargains for so long. Well, my priority was to go and see. I already went in the Poundland up in the town, because there's Colchester and Colchester Town, and we're going to backtrack a bit, because my train that goes to Colchester, I can stay on it and it goes, because at Whittam they do a train that goes to Colchester Town, or you can change at Colchester and wait ages for platform 5 to take you up there. And I thought I might as well just stay on this and do the top end and then work down to the bottom. So yeah, that's what I did. And again, it was pretty busy, but my priority was to go to B&M's, and by God, is that a massive store. And I made a bit of a mistake, so it was so funny. So I walked in the shop because they've got the big logo B&M, right? But then you think, oh right, this is the entrance. So what do? I go in the door and I'm thinking, why can't I open this door? Well, it turns out that was the exit, and you've got to go a bit further up for the entrance. But it was such a weird exit, because the doors are like there, you've got the person serving at the till, so you think, oh right, that's, the entrance. No, it was the exit. So how like embarrassing was that? So anyway, I walk in I'm just going to put the light on because it's getting a bit dark in here, and this is not good to strain my eyes on this thing. So put the light on just for a bit. So where did we get up to? Yes, I went into B&M, and just first thing I like to do is just have a walk around, see what I'm working with, see what things they've got. And then I saw this thing at the corner of my eye, and it was a carry case, and I was like, oh my god. And on the edge of it, it said Crystal Creations, and I was like, oh my god, right, that's it, I'm having it. It didn't show me what the picture was until I took it off the shelf, because it was sort of like pushed in like a book. And oh my days, it was absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you've watched the live video, which I think, was it Saturday or Sunday? One of the two, I can't remember. And I think it must have been Friday, because I don't film on weekends, or anyway, the schedule last week got a bit mucked up. So, anyway, I was like, I've got to get this. Well, I took it off the shelf, and it was animals. It was like a zebra, a lion, and an elephant. And I was like, oh, I'll put it back, because it was $12.99. It was a bit pricey. And I wanted to see what other things they have. And oh my God, they have got Christmas advent calendars out already. They've got all the celebrations. And it's like, if you get that now, you're going to either, one, like me, end up eating it, or two, it's going to melt and stuff. And yeah, so... There was lots of other stuff. I mean, they had a Costa Coffee gift set, and oh my god, I've got to pay another trip up there. I do like the Chelmsford store. They do have a B&M's in Chelmsford, but it's not got many things like I'm into up there. It just seems to be the standard. Like, it's more like food items. They do have other items in there, but nothing really grabs my attention in that shop. So Colchester, I mean, obviously they do say the bigger the store, the bigger the stock, so yeah, so I might be changing from Chelmsford to Colchester now. I used to go Chelmsford all the time, and I got to the point last week where I'm just like getting bored to keep going to the same places all the time. I like to, when I'm shopping, I don't just like to stick to one, say, B&M store. I like to branch out and try other stores, because other stores might have other things, And yeah, so at the end I got them, and oh my days, I found my biscuits that my nana used to get me. And oh my god, you got so much in a pack. I'll have to get another pack and then show you. And then I got some, that's where I found the strawberry chocolate, so I got that. Got some other things. I had to get some cereal bars for my mum, and I was like, well, they're gonna be cheaper in here than in Asda. So got them, and then at the end I was, you know, when you want something but you like, do I, don't I, and I was like, do you know what, I'm getting it now. And what made it worse is there was only like 4 on the shelf, so I was like, if I don't get this now, I'm not gonna get it. So yeah, it's done that. I wanted to go into Home Bargains, but the time was getting on, and you know, if I carried on waiting any longer shopping, I wouldn't have got back till gone 10 o'clock at night. So obviously I had dinner to do. I had Temu to pick up from my mum's, so I definitely need to pay another visit up there, because I'm not really sure what Home Bargains in is. If anyone from the UK has that, can you let me know what it sort of is? Like, is it a home shop with furniture, or is it a bit like The Range with all sorts? I mean, I don't know if America has that shop, but if any people watch from America that know that shop, do let me know. Or wherever you are in the world, do let me know what that shop's about, so that I know. Like, I don't want to go in there if it's the same as like The Range and stuff. Now, Colchester has a Range, but I don't know how to get to it. So anyway, then I went to Asda, got my bits in there, and then I got a call to say that my brother wanted a Monster drink, so, which is really bad for you. Like, yeah, it is full of crap, basically, or to be frank, full of shit. The amount of people that are in and out of hospital with that drink, you know, it's lethal, horrible stuff. And I tried it once and I don't like it. I poured it all the way down the sink. So yeah, it's too sweet. And then Prime obviously came out and they tried to copy it, you know. So got my bits in Colchester and was walking over the railway, because you got like the railways here, and then you got like the walk through railway bridge with the cars that go underneath and stuff. And walked over there and I was like, oh no, that's my train coming. And got to the station, walked up, and because you've got like an underground bit that you have to walk through, and I wasn't sure if my that was my train gonna leave, and I was trying to rush. Well, when I got up there, there was like millions of people just like standing in the way of the where you cross platforms and stuff with the underground bit. And I thought, there's got to be something going on here, because why is there so many people here? And it turns out that the train on platform 3 was blocking the line. Colchester is quite a strange station because you've got 5 platforms. Now, platform 4's here, and then this line here, so platform 4 would be here, and then it will, like, imagine that's platform 4, it would go in and then onto platform 3, right? Now, platform 3 is there. So if you want to get from platform 4 to 3, you've sort of got to run a bit to get that train, because sometimes you're waiting at platform 4 and then they go, this is a platform alteration. And then you've got like the trains coming up and you've got to try and run to there to get it within about 3 or 4 minutes. Well, it turns out that someone got hit by a train. And of course, all the emergency services are there. The trains delayed, and I thought, oh, you know, that's gonna mean I'm gonna have to claim compensation. And I was like stuck there for 3 hours waiting to get home, and all you kept hearing is the you know, the train announcement, the robot announcer voice that goes, this train is delayed, that train's delayed. And it's like, please just turn this off, because it was doing it like every 5 minutes, because obviously sometimes they can override it on the tannoy. And it was just saying, this train's that one's that one's that. But what I couldn't work out was they even cancelled the Colchester Town train, right? Now, the Colchester Town train has its separate line. That's like tucked away in a different line, which goes round to Colchester Town. So it wasn't blocking the line. So why cancel it? You know, it just did not make sense. And then what I thought they could do was, there was a Norwich train that got delayed. They could put a, you know, like terminate a train coming up from, I don't know, Clacton or somewhere onto platform 1, and then go on platform 1 and take it onto platform 3, but where the blockage is there, just like go in front of it, you know. But no, they you could see all like the ambulance and all the, you know, even the fire brigade were there, so it must have been pretty serious accident and stuff. And at one point you could hear the ambulance helicopter. So yeah, 3.5 hours of waiting, and I was like, oh my god, what do I do? Because my phone, if that dies, I always carry a power pack with me, But the problem is that I always buy mobile tickets. So I have the ticket on my phone and then just open the app and it's there. And I thought, oh my God, like if this don't get a move on, I don't know what I'm going to do, because like I didn't even know at that point if the ticket station would be open, because everything sort of like closes around 5, 6 o'clock. And then I was like, well, I'll just hang on a bit more, and it was getting to 30%, and I was like, oh no, what do I do now? Well, luckily, about after 3 hours of waiting, they said the platform 4, the train was coming on platform 4, and that was going to London, so hopped onto that. And then I got a call from my mum saying, Jules has got to go up to the hospital. No, my brother texted me saying that he really don't feel well and he's got to go up to the hospital. And I was like, well, I'm trying to get to there as quick as I can, because I had to go and pick up my team. I did thought about going straight home, but then I thought, well, I'm in the area, I could just pick them up. And stopped off at the shop because I had to get something to eat, because by that time I was like proper hungry and stuff. And yeah, I was like literally shattered. And so I was telling my mum, like, you know, what do we do? Like, because she said, well, can you go with him? And I was like, I've been out all day, like, I can do it. But if they say, right, we've got to admit him and keep him in overnight, how am I going to get back? Because I don't even know if the trains operate at that time. And I was like, I've already been delayed by 3 hours. I don't really want to do that again. So obviously she's then broke down crying in front of her manager. And she was like, because when she panics, she sort of like, she worries too much, and she'll like panic, and then she'll like just break down crying and stuff. And then obviously the manager's not happy, because obviously she's got to cover the other manager that's off, and he's gone to Spain for 2 weeks. And so she was like, you're gonna have to go. And I could see the anger in her face, like she was not happy, you know. But you know, what can you do? If you need to go home, you need to go home. It's the same like if you're ill, you can't be in work and be ill, especially in like if you was working in like catering, you'd be sent home. So, you know, I don't know if it's different for like shops, but that's certainly what would happen and stuff. But so she was like, you're gonna have to go. And my mum was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah. And she said, I'm really sorry and stuff like that. And so we got home, and I said, well, you're going to have to go, because obviously who's going to look after Molly? You need to have someone to look after Molly, because Hannah's not there. She's round Jack's, and they'd have been drinking. And so obviously I don't think they would have got home. She would have got there, because you know, you can't really walk down the street half drunk, can you? So, so of course, the whole of my evening was a bit messed up, because I was like, well, I'll take over here, you know, just get to the hospital and stuff. But then first they said to ring like 111 for advice. Now, we got told the ambulance would be 3 hours, right? Because they were busy. Well, nothing happened, and a clinician rang from the ambulance control room, I think he said, and apparently 111 do not send ambulances. So that's what the actual clinician said. So why the hell was we told that an ambulance was coming when it weren't? So, and I thought to myself, they're not going to dispatch an ambulance just for a leg injury. Like, to dispatch an ambulance, you have to go through so many questions before they'll even dispatch it. It's got to be sort of like if you're having a heart attack or something like that, you know. And so the clinician was like, well, we can send an ambulance, but he basically was asking the same questions what 111 did. And 111 is basically, it's not like an emergency line, but it's like if you need advice on what to do for your injury sort of thing. Well, he said he was basically going through the same questions as what 111 did, and they said, well, we can send you an ambulance, but it'd be a 9-hour wait. And he said, try and get up there by yourself. So of course we phoned, my mum phoned Hannah to see if Jack could take him. Well, they'd been drinking, so obviously that was a no-no, because he obviously can't drink and drive, which is common sense. So in the end, we had to get a taxi, and this was like 11:45 at night, and the taxi people said we can do it for 25 quid. Now, apparently, she said you need to be outside for 11:45 because the taxi people won't wait. And I thought that was a bit wrong because obviously the taxi people are working for your taxi rank. So why on earth would they not wait if you've booked it, you know? Well, they said if you're not out there by 11:45 and it gets to midnight, you'll be paying time and a half. So basically, what that means is double the amount. So anyway, they got up the hospital, and my mum was absolutely fuming. So this, from what I understand, this doctor was so rude. He was basically saying, "What are you up here for now? I saw you yesterday." Well, let's think here. We're up here now because you've not sorted out the problem. The nurse on the phone said that we have to come up here, get x-rays and blood tests. And then apparently my mum was saying that he shouted and was saying, they're not doctors, I'm the doctor. Right, but the nurse has just told us to do that. I understand that you're the doctor, but if that was me, I would say, right, excuse me, I don't want to speak to you. I want to see someone else because I don't like your attitude. And that's what happened at my doctor's over here, for this x-ray thing. I said, that is not, they basically wanted me to go on the phone and speak to the doctor. That is not going to solve the problem. I know what was wrong with my body. And I was like, no, I want an MRI. I need further investigation as to what is going on with my back. A telephone call is not going to solve the problem. I can assure you that now. So she was like really annoyed. And from what I understand, she said that he didn't seem very bothered. He was like eating, basically eating his lunch and playing on his phone and stuff while trying to talk to her. And how unprofessional is that? So anyway, they said, what are you up here for now? And I said, well, they said, I wasn't there, but they said, because it's hurting, we need an x-ray. So they did an x-ray, and he didn't do any blood tests, and apparently everything's fine. But apparently my brother saw on the x-ray that it had a very thin line, which could indicate a fracture. Now, this doctor he didn't care less, basically. He was just couldn't be bothered. And my mum was so annoyed. She was like, I want to, I could have seen the manager. And she was discussing it because I think they were up there for like a couple of hours, and they said Annie was quite empty at that point. Then they came home, I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just lying there with Molly on the sofa trying to like settle her, because she wasn't settling because she knew that my mum was out. Very intelligent dog. She'll, like, if my mum puts her coat on, she'll go in her bed because she knows that my mum's going out and stuff. She doesn't like to be on her own. And lately, because she's about 11 now, and lately she's been, every time one of us goes out, like, and we'll come back, you can hear her barking from like the end of the street, because she's getting it to that stage now where she just wants someone to be with her all the time. So anyway, they came back, and then the next day, my sister came round, and my mum spoke about what happened and all through it again. And my sister was like, well, first of all, I would have said, don't talk to me like that. Don't shout at me. And, going through what I would have said. If someone was doing that to me, I don't care what their profession is. If someone was shouting at me, I'd be like, excuse me, don't shout at me. You've not fixed the problem. We've been up here 3 times, So that tells me that you've not sorted out the problem. But, oh my God, like, if I was there, I would have asked for the manager, or, like, asked to see some other doctor, because there's no need to be rude to people. So I don't understand what happened there. I can only go by what I was told on that situation, but I can't, like, if that was me, I would definitely say, look, I want someone else, please. I'm not happy with your attitude, and you're not doing the x-ray, which we were told by the person. Yes, they're a nurse, but if the nurse has said we need an x-ray, then obviously we need the x-ray, didn't we? Even 111 said you need to go up there for an x-ray and to get some, further checks out on the leg. It's common sense, isn't it? Like, if we've come back, it means that the problem is still persisting. So, oh my God, like, I can't, I weren't there, so I can't really know. I wouldn't have been able to help and stuff, but my brother, he sort of like clams up. If he's got a problem, he sort of bottles it, so you have to try and, force it out of him what the problem is, He always feels like he can do it himself. So what a bloody night that was. And yeah, even my sister said, like, the next day, first of all, she was like, well, don't talk to me like that, So whether it was because obviously he was having a bad day, I don't know, but from what I understand, he wasn't very helpful. So yeah, so that's that. So now we can go on to my back situation. So sorry about that boring. It's quite nice that we have, a lot to talk about in this, because it could have been very sort of like singing. So yeah. So let's get on to my back. So someone asked me what was wrong with my back. And I can't remember, I think it was Roxanne, but I can't remember if it was Teresa or Roxanne, because Teresa was sending me prayers for my brother. So I can't remember, but my back MRI analysis thing has come back saying, I wouldn't normally show this because it's personal, but a lot of you have asked, and it's fine, I'm happy to show you that. But what it's come back with is, it says, that's what I raised. So I raised that it was a pain in the lower back and coccyx, because the coccyx is the base of the spine. Well, according to this report, it's come back saying that there's minor lumbar scoliosis, and I'll come on to that. And then somewhere down here, yeah, with some minor modic change, mild disc bulge at L4, L5. No parts or defects. The coccyx has not been included within the field of view, which I think is really annoying, because that's the whole point why I went there, and they've not even took an x-ray of that. And then down here it says mild lumbar scoliosis with mild degeneration in the lower lumbar discs. So I might have to flag that with them and say, well, why isn't the coccyx been included? Because that's where the pain's radiating from. So scoliosis is basically a condition where, say, like your spine's, it's supposed to be straight. Well, scoliosis is where the spine will go up and it sort of like bends or curves. So that's basically what I've got. So in other words, they've took the x-ray and he's put no further, scans needed or stuff, because we can see what they've apologies, we can see the test results on the app, on the we have the NHS app thing. But yeah, I'll just show you what that means. Alexa, what does scoliosis mean?
Scoliosis is usually defined as an abnormal lateral curvature of the spine.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So at least I've got some answers, but it's not the answer that I was hoping, because this pain is still persisting. So I'm going to have to go back again and say, what do we do now? Because what they might say is I might have to have what's called a steroid. But I mean, it's not there constantly. It's only when I sit down for longer than like an hour or 30 minutes. I mean, if I'm on it seems to me more related to like hard surfaces. So if it was like a hard seat, then it would kick off. But when it's like a soft seat, it's totally fine. But yeah, so now I know what I've got going on with the back. So I hope that answers your question, Teresa or Roxanne. As I say, I do apologise. I can't remember who asked me about it. But yeah, so yeah, a bulging disc. So that's nice, isn't it? Anything else wrong with me? Or, so far it's high blood pressure, high cholesterol, scoliosis, bulging disc. I told you I'm dying. That's what it is. I'm too old. And I've got a bone to pick with you, Roxanne. 31. You said I'm quite young. Trust me, I'm not. I feel old at 31, but I do thank you for the compliment. Every time I get, sometimes when I buy alcohol, they have to ID you and stuff, and they say you look well younger than what you are, and I'm like, thanks for that. So yeah, let's actually have a Google of that because I'm intrigued now. Alexa, what does bulging disc mean?
From healthfully.com. A bulging disc refers to a protrusion in the soft pad that separates the vertebrae in your spine.
Alexa, how do you fix a bulging disc?
From boyhealth.com. If you have a bulging disc, your doctor will recommend taking NSAIDs and using heat and ice.
Oh, right. So maybe the heat pads that you can get? Wow. Well, at least we know what's going on with it, that's for sure. But bloody hell did it... I think we had an eclipse last night because at 7:30 it was pitch black over here. And I thought, is the clocks changed? So, I mean, obviously, if it's overcast, it does tend to... if it's overcast, it does tend to, make it darker and stuff. But yeah, felt really weird seeing dark at 7:30. But yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Roxanne. So yes, and then I'm sort of thinking, well, have I just got to put up with the pain all the time, or what? Because I'm pleased in a way I pushed the MRI, because at first, as I said, they didn't want to do it. They just wanted me to have a telephone call over the phone, and I was like, nah, and a blood test is quite good for, it brings up any underlying things in your body and stuff. But I knew there needed to be, when you know something and you're like, I need a further test, I know something's wrong, Well, yeah, so it's not good, is it, for 31? Because I'm actually 31 and I've got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, scoliosis, bulging disc. I've had nearly 7 extractions, so not good, is it? I mean, you'd normally get that sort of like when you're older and stuff, like back stuff and stuff like that. But to be fair with you, I probably caused it because I sort of arch over when I'm doing diamond painting. So it's probably that's caused it. I don't know, but I don't think it is, because I've had this since like earlier on in the year. So it's only been sort of like the early stages of this year it started to play up. So I don't know. Yeah. So yes, we've zoomed around the A12. We've told you all about the kerfuffle with the bike. I've covered the back thing for Roxanne that she asked me about. Thank you very much as well, Roxanne, for asking about me. It's ever so kind of you, because I know there's people out there that do care about me, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much for the caring of that, because it's nice when someone like cares about you and stuff. So yeah. Oh, and then tomorrow, you know what it is? Happy Halloween! No, well, it is the start of Halloween, and I will be getting the hot glue gun out because I'm going to be putting my first painting on the wall. So every month I have a different, thing on the wall, for painting. So every month is a different theme. Like at the moment we have owls, funny enough. I put because the pink owl that I was working on, it was a bit like crushed and stuff, so I like to put it on the wall. People often ask me, how do you put it on the wall? And I used to use blue tack, but that is so old-fashioned these days. I mean, I stopped using blue tack probably about 2 years ago. I use hot glue guns, and it's, if you're not careful, it will pull the paint off the wall. But, you know, all you need is just peel it very carefully and it will come off. It's beautiful. And it comes off the canvas beautifully. So, yeah. But yes, tomorrow I plan to start working on the Haunted Hallows. I actually ordered from Temu these. It's a very cool light. It's like leaves, but with light through it. So I'm I wonder if I can get a photograph. Yeah, it is. Let's have a look. Oh, it's still preparing for dispatch at the moment. So so yeah, I've actually got this. It's preparing for shipment at the moment, but it's like a garland. But what it is that you basically have these lights through the leaves, which I thought was pretty cool. So, and you see, you can put them around your fireplace, you know, they're all different ones, all around your door. And I thought that's quite nice, you know. Obviously, it's battery powered and stuff, but you have the option of picking. I went for the red and green maple, but you've got yellow maple or you've got red maple. I think that's a little bit too like fire sensation there. but yeah, so I've got that coming on, and I want to have a talk about Temu, because they're being a bit annoying at the moment. So, for example, I've got these in my basket, right? And you think, oh, lovely, the locks come off, right? When I click that, say like, I don't know, for example, I want that, check out, it says, oh, you've got to add more money before you can order it. So I think that's really out of order, because they're misleading you, because what they're doing is they're saying checkout zero, you think you don't have to pay any more than that, you know, £15, and then they're going, I think that's really out of order, because you know, it's misleading people. It's saying, though, you think to yourself, oh, great, there won't be a minimum spend. And then what do? They hide it on another page. And something else they've been doing is, you know, when I said you can now pick your own collier, well, you can't, because now they've took that option off. So it's back to them picking it. So Temu is getting a bit annoying at the moment. I mean, it, as I said, it's a cash grab. You know, they just want you to spend more and more and more. And it's like, I don't want to spend 15 quid every single time I order. Like, what the hell is that all about? You know, it seems to me. And then they say, oh, we do this so that we don't waste packing or stuff like that. Well, you're the ones who have set it as free postage. So I don't know anywhere else that, you know, you have to go through this, you know, minimum spend thing all the time. It's just ridiculous. But I play them back at their own game, because what I do is every time they put that lock on, I don't order from them. And then when they take it off, then yeah, you'll get an order. Because if you normally you have to wait like a couple of days. I think the longest I've waited before is like a week and 3 days before it's actually come off. But yeah, I won't do it. So Roxanne, I know you're having the problem with £35 Canadian dollar situation. All I would suggest for that is just wait a few days or wait longer. It will eventually come off. And I'm sort of wondering, is it like because it's a third party seller on there? I don't know. Maybe that's why they need a minimum spend, but I don't know. So just let us know. Well, you can't let me know because I don't know what the lock situation is, but but yeah, that's what I would do. I'm not going to give them 15 quid every time, you know. There's not even 15 quid's worth of stuff on there that I really want at the moment. So, but I really must stop buying new things, because what I tend to do is I buy things and not buy the things in my basket. And so when I try to add stuff to my basket, it says I can't because it's at full capacity. So what I need to do is, rather than see things that I like, clear some of the basket to free up room, and then I can add more things. Because what I'm having to do is like screenshot the item before, you know, so that I can keep a remembering of it, because my basket's full. That's another thing I think I need to work on, is this epoxy basket being full all the time, you know. But yeah, Temu is being a bit of a pain at the moment. So I mean, all the fish games as well, you know, the games that you used to have, like the fish game, that's all disappeared on my end. So I thought it was a con anyway, because it's all disappeared off the there used to be all these games. Let's just see if I can get to, yeah, it used to be, you know, here it used to be like there used to be a game option where you could play and win prizes. That's gone now. So I don't know what they're doing, but you know, it's like the collaboration when I used to do it. They've folded the seeding program and now it's like an affiliation program. And even that needs tinkering, because they say you need a minimum of like £20 before you can actually withdraw. So why has everything got to be like a minimum? It just really makes my blood boil. Like, everything's got to be a minimum spend all the time. It puts me off buying. It really does, because I don't see why I have to pay like more money than what I want to pay. You know, does that make sense, or am I just confusing you more? So yeah, it's really annoying, quite frankly. So yeah. So yeah, this painting will be rolling over to the next Disney theme. I'm unsure as of when that will be at the moment. So what I'm going to do is, rather than get any more out, I'm just going to do this last drill here. I've not drunk any of my lemon sip, so I better do that now. Oh, lovely. Although I don't like ginger, it's quite nice. But as I say, it's I've got this bug thing that Teddy gave me, so I'm trying to get over it. And my brother's a lot worse with his. But the trick is to catch it early, get the medication early into your system, and then it will go quicker. So yes, that's what we're looking like now. It's very dark black, isn't it? But yeah, that's the correct drill. So very lovely. And look at this dark black earlobe here and the eyes. So we got some eyes there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get finished this side of the Disney theme, but that is it. The Disney theme is officially declared over. Yes, we're not going to be working on any more Disney themes yet. We have now come to the end of that theme. And tomorrow, when you wake up, you will be seeing the first of this lovely little painting here of the first stage of Jack Skeleton, brought to you by Tiger Lily Bex, who very kindly sent it to me. I had a blast working on that. I'm still working on some few Halloween bits, and can't wait to show you that. The September completions video will be a little bit later, because there's an unboxing that I want to show Teresa, and the thing that's in that unboxing I've already completed, and so I can't show it tonight, because if I did, then there's no point in showing the unboxing. Sometimes I do understand that I've done the actual, showed you the item before the unboxing. I really need to stop doing that. So yeah, I'm going to delay that September completions. It's been a really naff month for completions. We've only got 2 done. Every day just seems to be getting busier and busier. Tell you something, they're trying to rush this year though, because it's getting faster and faster and faster. Like, how in the world are we at the end of September already? But anyway, enough rambling on. I've got spaghetti bolognese to cook. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the Disney theme. I've had a blast doing it. Didn't want it to end, but you know, as one theme ends, another one's only around the corner. Until then, thank you for watching. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Halloween series. I can't wait. Bye bye.